What is up, guys? It's your boy Darth Revan, and today we have another recap for you. And this time it is us versus GrandWitchAuto in week 5 of the CWL. And this was an amazing war. Like, coming into the war, well, a little backstory. Coming into the war, GrandWitchAuto was 4-0, and we were 2-2. And everyone had them pinned winning against us. But as you can see, we edged him out in a thriller of an ending. It was 91.8% to 91.1%. And it came down to the last attack, last 11v10 dip, and that's what won us the war. So let's just get straight into the war map and see what they did to our bases first. They struggled really they struggled a lot with our 10-11s to get them tripled, and they had one 10v10 triple, and that was a really nice attack. They cleared 9s relatively easily. Their 9s were just on fire, and now it's looking at their bases. We also cleared their 11s with ease, and we tried to get a 10v10 up, but it just didn't go our way. A couple of close attacks, and we had a little bit of trouble on their 9 bases, but we got them cleared with a couple of dips to free up scouts, and overall we stepped up and pulled through. Now let's getting straight into the first attack. It's a dip by our boy Matthias on his 10-11 account chat. And in this one, it's just a single zap or double zap quick, or single zap quick mass dragon. It's really nice. He zaps this air defense, and then he uses bowlers to get that air defense. Really nice placing and pathing as well. And then he uses his heroes to get these two bottom air defenses. So at the end of the day, there's not much left for the drags to deal with besides just regular archer towers and Teslas. Actually, small correction on that. I think he leaves this air defense up, and instead he brings in a hound to tank for it. My bad. So he has an air warden, hound to tank, warden boosting up everything. This was a close attack too. We didn't. There were some doubts if he would actually get it because of first of all time, and then second of all if he had enough troops at then. But there were just some clutch aspects of this, like this dragon getting that Inferno Tower by itself was really, really nice. The dragons, they just move counterclockwise around the base. And see, the thing with drags is that it's hard to like have perfectly placed spells to hit all of them. As you can see there, the rage like affected only maybe 1 or 2 dragons. Now they're done with the top portion, they're making their way around the base. And we can probably speed this up. At this point, there's not much that can hit them. Just this core area. The wizard towers don't really do much to dragons in the first place, especially max dragons with the warden to back them up. And so without the warden, I don't think this would have been a triple, but the warden really helped out. So with just a few seconds to spare, he gets that crucial dip triple. Next, we're going down to my hits, actually. Dutch Warrior, my 10-11. This was so funny thing is I had to do both my attacks because I had quite a few hits to do this war with my Tunnel 10 and my Tunnel 11, and these attacks were within like the last 30 minutes of war. And so I prepped for this the day before. I was just looking at the base and I was like, oh, this is a strat that I could use. But I'm glad it kind of panned out the way I wanted it to. So there was a wall breaker fail. It was just unfortunate. This expo was just happened to be in range, and the baby dragon just happened to die at that point, at that time. So things got a little hairy here. The queen, the poison was off because I thought she would jump this wall, but then she was in that wall. But luckily, the queen grabbed her. As soon as I saw that the queen was targeting her, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna wait any longer. So like spammed the queen ability button. And at this point, it's just an easy Lalo. There's not much, like you just haste and drop your warden. And right about here, a heal would have been nice, but to be honest, with that warden to boost up everything, and not much left after the base is done here. So I have like a mass of loons coming in. They go into the core, and pathing was kind of weird. I should have sent these like these loons earlier to kind of help, because you can see they kind of go back and forth, and it wasn't the cleanest of hits, and then I had to freeze early, but then I had to backtrack, and so it wasn't the cleanest of hits, but it got the job done. And that haste, I could have just like not used that haste. It was a bit useless. Overall, I pretty much smashed the base. So there was a ton of loons left, ton of pups left. Swag haste. We'll fast forward through the rest of this cleanup. All right, and going down to the second of my 211 hits. So this base I almost got with my Tunnel 10. Basically the same plan minus the warden, and I had a cleaner loon pathing, and for this side it was a Gobo Lalo. And so the thing that went right in my Tunnel 10 hit, but not in my Tunnel 11 hit, was that this golem was actually one tile higher. So as you can see here, the baby dragon comes on to this cannon, and it takes it out. And the golem actually reroutes down to this archer tower rather than going up like how it did in my Tunnel 10 hit. So I think if I dropped it a little higher, then it would have just rerouted to this intersection like how it did. And I had to Fuxi the queen here because I didn't want to deal with the CC Hound and have the pups pop and all that mess. And besides, I could get pretty good value. A couple of archer towers and a wizard tower. So I thought that was good value for the queen. She almost gets this, but she just gets roasted. This was a little scary. Like I almost, if I had missed my if I had waited like 1 second too long for my Grand Warden ability, I would not have got that, just the value that I got because the bowlers would have died. And the Lalo was a lot cleaner. Like I hasted the top loons rather than the bottom loons, like in my previous Tunnel 10 hit. But yeah, just smash the base. There's so many pups up, and so many loons up as well. I don't think I lost too many from that Lalo. And we can just fast forward. There's only one remaining archer tower, and that's not enough. And luckily, there are two air mines here that popped the hound and got me even more cleanup than was necessary, I guess. So this was a comfortable dip 3. Now let's go down to the town hall 9 action. And the first up is Daniel, a boy Daniel. He's coming in with a Zapquake Penta. So he has Valk heroes and Baby Dragon to kill off the enemy heroes. You can get some value as well. Try to take out that cannon, that Expo, which would be nice. The Baby Dragon's doing a good job of tanking for that Expo, for that Queen. And so he starts off his Lalo, 3 hounds on the first air defense. CC Baby Dragon comes down, but it's not too much. He has a poison in the bag for it. Slows down the damage considerably. And the pups, these 2 pups, latch on and they take it out. So in a way, that Baby Dragon actually helped try to get him more cleanup. Pop his hounds. Because you don't want unpopped hounds at the end of your raid. This haste was a little early. Like he lost a lot of loons because of it. Because the Tesla farm was there. But he ends up smashing the base. There's nothing left. He has his max hound up, and those 2 archer towers are about to be taken out. Max hound survives, actually. It's a bit unfortunate because he probably wants to clean up, but he had enough time. We can start to fast forward through this, as there's nothing left in the base. So good job to Daniel. Now, the next person is Addy on his account Logan, number 14. He had a nice Queen Charge Shattered Hobo. So Queen basically is responsible for the bottom section of this base. And you see this a lot. You have people putting heroes together and off to like one corner. But the thing is, like a queen, unless you have like air mines or something and try to take out healers, the queen with a normal set of healers and a poison can take out both of those heroes. It's a cheap and easy way because the heroes play such a big role in defense. Like 2 poisons for the heroes is a great value, especially if you have a CC Hound like how this guy does. You, unlike a Town Hall 10 raid or a Town Hall 11 raid, you don't have that loon with that CC Hound to like threaten your ground troops. So, and the Hound does barely any damage by itself. So he's going to drop a jump, lead everything in, rage, and he has heals for his hogs. Zoom out. And he drops his hogs up top at 12, and yeah, everything's working together. Like the maybe he doesn't drop him at 12. Where does he drop? Yeah, he drops him at 12. Like the Queen's got the bottom part, the kill squad has the middle, and then the hogs are responsible for the top. If you think about it, that's how your attack is supposed to work. You're supposed to kind of clear the base together. I really like these hogs targeting the Expo, which was on his Queen. You don't want her to die, and they path through a giant bomb. Because of the update, hogs eat up giant bombs easily. And so this was a scary moment. He lost quite a few of his hogs, and I think he was, at the end of the day, I think he was only left with 1 left. The rest die because of those pesky skeletons. But this base is basically wrecked. It doesn't even matter if his hogs survived or not. King's up, Bowler, Golem, Wizards on the outside. Let's get through the rest of this raid. So good job to Addy. Moving down on the map. Let's go to Grundy, the Grundinator, using his signature attack. This guy's crazy. One of the best talent 9s I've ever seen. He has like 2 accounts, and he goes in within like the first 10-15 minutes of war with like all of his accounts, and he like ends up like 6-packing on both and getting like 12 packs, 18 packs. It's just insane. And this is his signature attack. I think he actually even came up with it like about a month and a half, a little bit more. I think that's when he's been using that predominantly. So he has healers on his queen, a small queen charge, and then P.E.K.K.A.s. He has a P.E.K.K.A. with Valks in behind, and as the only thing you really need to worry about in this attack, it's basically the funneling. As long as you funnel your troops well and keep them inside the base, all these troops that he's using, the Valks, the P.E.K.K.A., the bowlers, and the heroes, those have the highest DPS in the game. So by using those, you can smash through like bases like it's nothing, as long as your troops stay inside. If they stay inside, you're good. You can see he's trying to funnel off some of the trash here, but they end up getting attracted. So maybe a baby dragon there. I don't know. And the key part of in all this is like the healers keeping them up. Like he went from the opposite side of the enemy queen, and he's still able to like just demolish the base. There's nothing left. He doesn't need hogs or loons or any of that surgical stuff. He just like goes in and just takes stuff out. There's no other way to describe it. Fast forwarding through the rest of this. So good job to Grundy. He had 2 other triples, but for the sake of time and showing other people's attacks, I'm gonna have to skip out on those. And basically the same style of attack and same result. Now let's go down to Matthias. We showed his Town Hall 11 raid. Now let's look at his Town Hall 10 or Town Hall 9 raid on number 23. And this was a really creative attack. I actually enjoyed watching this. So what he does is he zap quakes the 2 center ADs. He's able to reach them with 1 earthquake, so he's able to use the extra dark spell for a poison. Queen swap for another AD. And then he back end Lalo's this AD up there. And to take out the queen, he instead of doing suicide heroes, he goes old school. Like this was like the thing about a couple metas ago, and he goes in with drags. Poisons the queen to slow down the drags, and just ends up getting great value for them. Because if you look at it, there's the king's distracting the two main air targeting point defenses, and luckily the drags, they ignore the hound. I don't know why or how, but they do, and that's good for his raid. And he has 3 drags that are just wrecking havoc on all these ground defenses. And there's not much left in the base if you think about it. There's 2. This is probably his biggest worry spot. Like 2 wizard towers and a Tesla and archer tower, but everything is going to collapse there. And yes, 3 drags still up and like a whole horde of pups and minions on the outside. And he has an unpopped hound as well. So this base is done for. Alright, so good job to Matthias. And Let's go down to Aries, number 28. Our boy Aries hitting it with a shattered Bolalo. He's been practicing this attack quite a bit in FC, so it's nice to see all that practice come into fruition. Sets a wide funnel. This is what I really liked about this attack. He recognized that if he takes out this archer tower, and that will create a wide enough funnel for his bowlers, so that they'll just go straight in. Well, unfortunately, he does take it out. That wizard comes in clutch, takes it out. So his bowlers are free to move into the base. Sadly, like a couple of them actually go up, which was unfortunate because he wanted his main them to mainly go down. But they got the objectives done. They took out an archer tower and took out the air defenses, and he still has his heroes up to clean that stuff up. Nice haste there, recognizing that there was a Tesla farm that could really do a number on his loons. So he goes and hastes them up early. I think this was fresh because he didn't see this Tesla. So if it was a cleanup, he would have probably saved a loon for them. Nice rage here to push them all through. And at this point, the base is done for. There is nothing left in it. You start the king up at nearly full health, cleaning up the outside of the ring. Loons are going over to the Tesla. So, and watching this raid live, I thought this this gold storage would cause some problems, especially after those loons. They all are on red, and those had gone down to that Tesla, then things might not have been as pretty, but Aries pulls through, and like the great leader he is, he leads us to victory on this attack. So good job to Aries, and let's go into our last attack, which was Amar. He had a nice one. Number 29. Basically a shattered, one of those old school shattered Lalos. So it's nice to see these things, like when you use bowlers, and it's a double jump as well, so it's always a thing of beauty. I remember back whenever I was mainly in Talon 9, I used to hate double jumps. I always loved my queen charges and my queen walks, but it is what it is. Oh, actually, never mind. He actually does use bowlers. And that makes sense because the air defenses are so clustered. Sadly, everything seems to walk, though. So, space. The funneling was tricky, but because everything was so like accessible, per se, to his queen, like that king really came in clutch to take out the queen and take out that and help take out the air defense. So even though bowlers walked and not everything really went to plan, nice job by him staying calm and collected. Good loon deployment. Raging up because he saw that there was a Tesla and a wizard tower there, so he can't really afford to just normal haste. Now that everything's in a big clump, the haste, you don't need the extra damage from the rage, as now you can haste up in a little bit. Loons one-shot the expo, and like holding on to that haste, this is what I liked about that raid. Holding on to that haste was pretty clutch, because there's nothing else in the base besides the air defense that can target his loons, and that really saved him. He had one back end loon for cleanup, which was also pretty smart. Probably should have brought like a couple of archers for the corner huts, but can't really critique a 3. I think he actually did bring archers. Wait, he probably must have missed the huts in the heat of the moment. Well, let's just fast forward through this, and good job to Amar with a nice triple. And so last but not least, let's gonna give out shout outs to the people who 6-packed them. So shout outs to myself, and then the Grundinator for his 9-pack, Logan for aka Addy for his 6-pack, and then Amar for his 6-pack. So great job, guys, and it was a really fun war. I really enjoyed it. It was a thriller for sure, and we wish GrandWitchAuto best of luck in going into the rest of the CWL, and we hope to pull out more victories in the future. So thank you guys for watching this recap, and peace out.
Yeah, I've been killing this shit. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been cooking that shit, now they fucking with this.